We have our guest standing by to join us. We have Dr. Nwafor Jacobs joining us. Good morning, Dr. Jacobs. How are you?
Good morning, God's time, David. I'm fine.
Happy holidays.
Same to you, God's time.
All right, let's begin with the strike before we talk about the threat by the federal government. Now, for how long? This has been on for quite some time now, but how does this make you feel as a frontline worker, being owed your hazard allowances and salary arrears?
It's really demoralizing. The action of the federal government so far has really been abysmal. They've actually not been responsible enough. I feel very demoralized. I don't feel motivated going to work because I don't feel cared for or being thought about. I'm every day in the front line trying to see patients, trying to give my own bill, but I get home, I'm not being paid my salary, and the hazard allowance I'm being paid is not even sufficient to pay for investigations. Perhaps I get exposed. Let's put it in context. Currently, a doctor's hazard allowance is 5,000 naira.
What?
Let's say let's say you get a needle prick injury in the course of caring for a patient. Just to run preliminary investigation, you may end up spending close to 65,000 naira. It makes no sense for the federal government to continue to treat us this way.
Dr. Nwafor, so do you think, say, I understand, I'm not a doctor, so let me not say I understand how you feel, but let's put it this way. I saw a report that most patients were abandoned, and of course, if the cases were not emergencies, they were asked to go home. How does that aspect as well make you feel?
I also feel heartbroken about the fact that patients cannot access care. But the truth being said is, it's in their best interest that we get the system running. I feel bad that we have to turn down cases that are not emergencies, which may become emergencies by the time they are coming back. But it's really important that we actually get right and that the federal government decide to actually pull it because you can't have people that are not motivated taking care of other people. You can't have people that are demoralized taking care of other people. You can't have people that are no longer passionate about their job out there taking care of other people. It's a very dangerous situation. We should not get there.
All right, let's talk about the threats. The federal government has threatened the National Association of Resident Doctors on the strike and agreements. Now, do you think that these threats would actually make the resident doctors go back to work?
I don't think these threats hold any water. They can't pull people back to work. They can't bring us back to work with those threats. You need to keep your own part of the bargain. It's not about signing memorandum. We've been signing memorandum for time immemorial. It's time for the federal government.
Are you there?
I'm there.
Yeah.
It's time for the federal government to fully do it and deliver on these promises and stop getting us to sign memorandum they will not implement.
All right, before I let you off the hook this morning, Dr. Nwafor, what do you have to say generally to Nigerians and, of course, the federal government? Because as it is biting really hard on most doctors, as I'm aware that most doctors are doing everything they can to leave the country.
Okay. What I have to say to Nigerians is we are fighting basically not for our own selfish purposes, but we are fighting for everybody. We are fighting for a system that works. We are fighting for a system that can take care of you. We are also fighting to be sure that we do our job and we are happy doing this job. Okay. And to the federal government, I would want to say it's time to actually step up your game. It's not time trying to threaten people and talk about labor laws. if you even look at that labor law yourself, you'll see that you're actually not treating doctors or even Nigerian workers in the federal civil service well. And you can't come out and threaten them with labor laws.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy holidays, and please take care of yourself.
And you too. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Right now, we're being joined by Honorable Ayodele Adewale. He is a public affairs analyst. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Are you there? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to have you this morning. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
All right, let's begin with the Punch newspapers. And this story has to do, it's on the Guardian newspapers, rather. It says that NIN defaulters risk 14 years in jail. Now, you recall the NIN registration and the deadlines that were given. This morning, the federal government is coming to say, or rather, Issa Pantami is coming out to say that it will not lift up the ban and that people who default stand to go to jail for 14 years. How do you react to this story?
Well, first and foremost, I think that is his own talk, and that statement is rather unfortunate because when it is democratic dispensation and any such law, we have to go through the National Assembly.
Okay.
And I know that if you test it at the National Assembly, it will never pass. So I think it's rather an unfortunate statement that is credited to him.
So I went to the streets of Lagos and had conversations with some persons, and a lot of them were of the opinion that it should not be, that there should not be deadlines given to this registration. Rather, it should be an ongoing process. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I definitely align with it. The NIN program should be a continuous one. There should be an age benchmark for every Nigerian to get hooked to the NIN. For instance, we could say that you be registered when you're born, like it is done at developed clients. As soon as you're giving birth to, you get your national identification number. And as soon as you're dead, the number is withdrawn. And that is how it should be. And considering the landmass of this country and the infrastructure that the agency itself has, it will take them a long while to get across all Nigerians. And looking at the devastation that the COVID-19 pandemic has created in our economy and society, also looking at the number of workforce that they have, I don't think they can get all Nigerians registered even within the next 12 months. So they just need to improve on their game and their system.
Well, let's hope that they would go back to that conversation and see how they can readdress the 14-year jail term. But away from that story, let's talk about the police or Nigerian Police Force anti-cultism law that was signed, that was signed into law on the 16th of March 2021. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu signed that bill into law. But the conversation surrounding that bill or the law is that parents would also be affected if their children are found guilty of being cultists. Now, how would you react to that particular one as a parent?
Well, for me, I have a total departure from that law, but you should understand that the law was made not in absentia of people in the society. So it means that people during the public hearing did not really pay more attention to that process. And the thought of some people dominated that argument or that process or that program. And you know, in democracy, the higher number takes sway. That does not mean that law cannot be revisited. I, for instance, would prefer that whoever had or whoever commits a crime should bear the crime, not the parent. The parent can only bear or be penalized when it is proven that they are culpable in that crime.
All right, because yesterday at the flag off of the anti-cultism campaign, the Commissioner of Police and other stakeholders that were there did mention that this law would actually put parents in check. We had an interview with them to find out what they meant by to put parents in check. But let's hope that that conversation will be ongoing and we'll see where that leads us to. Away from the police conversation, let's take a look at another story which has to do with the Easter. Now, this period is, of course, the Easter celebration, and a lot of persons would want to visit friends, visit families, church activities, and the rest. You recall that last year Easter was celebrated virtually, and this year, of course, most countries are beginning to ease the restrictions such that people can have time with their families. Now, how do you react? Do you think, even if the federal government and CDC has actually said that this Easter could increase the cases of coronavirus, do you think that it should still be held virtually, or people can have time to go out?
Well, looking at the spread right now, the effort of government, I think government is right to inform us and warn us about the dangers that sit confront us as a people and as a nation. But people must also take responsibilities in their hands. The responsibility not to get infected is on everybody's hands. The police might not be able to cover all of the areas, but it is the duty of the police to keep watch and to notify people about the danger ahead. It is not yet in Uhuru. People must be very responsible. We must also participate in citizen watch. We must continue to emphasize that the only way out for this pandemic is for us to obey all the CDC COVID-19 protocols.
Okay. Since we're talking about COVID-19 protocols, a story broke how that most persons were arrested for carrying fake COVID certificates. Now, what do you think can be done to checkmate people going around with fake COVID certificates?
Deploy technology and science in this. Those COVID-19 protocols can be synced with biodata and also be aligned on the website that using some binary numbers. But no card should be given without taking their thumbprint. For every card, it must be stamped or it must be aligned with thumb-printed shipping on the card. And if you do this, I can assure you that you would have prevented such happening.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for your thoughts and enjoy your holidays. All right, bye-bye. That's all we can take this morning on Newspaper Review. You can join us at 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. to get details of their stories. And please remember to stay safe. Happy holidays, happy Easter celebration to all Christian faithful. Have a great weekend ahead. And remember to stay safe. Bye-bye.